Welcome all to the Red Pill News. The Red Pill News, the Red Pill News. Take the red pill. Why? Because you want to be free, baby. You want to be free. You are not, if you listen to this show, you are not the sheeple. You are the leader of your own life, the controller of your own destiny. You're somebody who understands what true freedom means and not the crap they try to sell you governmentally or in the media or what they think their version, right? Their version of freedom. You know what? I will quote the Buddha. I will quote, yes, I will. I will quote the Buddha, kind of, sort of. Basically, we all live our own lives, and the things that we do, the things that we choose, and everything is our own lives. Our interpretation of that life is our own. So if I hand you a Bible, any Bible, a Christian Bible, right, or any kind of religious document, the interpretation of that document is your own. Your perception is your own. The very fact that you would have some kind of person come in, reverend, preacher types or whatever, to try to interpret that document and preach it unto you shows you that it's more of a sales pitch than an individual enlightenment experience. So be the Buddha. My sister Mel knows as well as I do, as well as other family members who have suffered under our father and other family members, right? In the middle of chaos, you yourself must be the Buddha sitting in front of that fig tree with all this chaos going on. And he just kind of sitting there smiling. All this chaos, all these demons are offering him stuff. All this stuff is happening. It's just swirling around, man. And he is just being straight up content because he had found that inner peace. And if you can find inner peace in chaos, you can survive this world. It is a cold and cruel world. But if you make the corners of your own world loving and caring, then it takes the ice off of that cold and cruel. And for that major flow, for the machine, for everything that people who participate in that machine, they get what they get. They are what they are. You are what you do, you know? You are what you do. And I don't want to hear that crap off anybody about Einstein was a patent clerk and, oh, but he was a brilliant scientist. Yeah, he was a patent clerk and he was a brilliant scientist. You are what you do. It's not that he just sat there and talked about it. There's a lot of talk about it these days, especially through the internet. People living their virtual lives and virtual realities. That's just going to keep getting deeper and deeper, don't you think? Over time of escapism. It used to be when people wanted to escape, they went out into the wilderness. They went out west to the big escape, or they went up to Alaska. They went to around parts of the world where people there weren't so many damn people around to escape. Right now, there's no escape. 7.5 billion people on the planet. Even if you're in the middle of nowhere, someone's going to blunder into your business at some point. So it comes down to common sense, and common sense doesn't hold true for a lot of people. But some people, and this is going to be kind of a twisted reality for you, what I'm about to say. Some people, some people live their own lives, and they really don't care about what others think about them. Right? I had a good psychic one time named David Starr. And every time he read me, he'd say the same thing about he'd get this smile like he knew something about me. And he said, "You don't care what people think about you, do you?" And I'm like, "No." Whatever made him come to that conclusion each and every time. But he was right on, obviously, because I don't live my life for other people. I live my life for myself. I'm the one who has to survive every day. I'm the one who has to deal with everything, just like you. Just like you. No difference between us. We all go out there individually and we deal with things. But some of you let other people control your lives. Let them judge you into a hole or try to control you in varied in many different directions. of control. When if you're in a relationship and the other person nags you, nagging is now known as a form of abuse. Abuse, isn't that interesting? And then people nag you over and over. If I hear the same thing twice, I'm done with it, and I actually take offense to it, and I put up a wall, and my force field and my position becomes aggressive, because I feel like there's no reason, number one, to do that. If when I was in a relationship and that person nagged me to do something, I specifically wouldn't do it. And I'd put it off and put it off. And I'd let them know, the more you say it to me, the more I'm not going to do it. And then eventually that person will have to understand that if they want to get what they're aiming for, they need to go a different direction. But you don't understand. That relationship with that possessive, controlling person had nothing to do with the task at hand. It had to do with the nag. That's what made them happy. The nag, to nag you to goddamn death, right? Nag you day and night, nag you 3 o'clock in the morning, nag, nag, nag. It's like the other day, I had to take a ride. I was trying to get somewhere, right? And it was an hour there, hour back. In the midst of all this, you have these, for lack of a better term, uh, asshole redneck pickup truck driving loser douchebags. Yeah, that's about as nice as I can put it. Who are in the in between, who are in the middle of my timeline of trying to get from one place to the other and get back safely, right? Accomplishing my task. It's kind of like a video game. It has all these tasks that you have to do and get around. I'm no stranger to passing people on the highway. If they're going under the speed limit and they're in my way, so I'm driving along, and then there's this guy in a pickup truck. Speed limit 55. He's going 48 miles an hour. There's a line of cars starting to gather behind me. I'm behind him. And every passing zone, he would speed up to the speed limit, a little more to make sure people couldn't pass him. And then he would slow back down again to 48. Asshole, right? Asshole. Totally, man. Oh, totally. Totally. Anybody does that, and not, and all right. Let me continue. Passing zone comes up. I go to pass him, right? Safely. I've got a Jeep. It's got a Hemi. Got 440 horsepower. Car has no problem passing other vehicles. When I go to pass him, the guy speeds up, trying to make it so I couldn't pass him. So I'm going like 75 by the time I zoom, I get right in front of him. As I'm going past him, he gives me the finger, right? So already you know what kind of guy he is. Already you know he's a jerk. Already you see me passing him safely and with legally, it's a passing zone. That's what you're supposed to do. But he doesn't like it. He gives me the finger. He wants to speed up. It's not the fact I passed him necessarily, but it is. It's the fact that he wants people to stay behind him. He wants to be in control. He wants to go 48 miles an hour. He wants you to stay behind him. And that's as simple as that. That's what kind of weird people that you'll run into. And there was three of them like that on the highway that day. Three of them that did exactly the same thing. All of them giving me the finger, which is funny because if I was standing in front of them, they would crap their pants instead of giving me the finger. I'm not really this little tiny. I'm 6'5" and 280 pounds. I'm not the kind of person that is going to be all timid either. If you get in my face or if I feel offended, I'm definitely going to let you know. You know, and I'm not Mr. Fighter. I don't do that kind of crap. But I've got the potential. you know, I've got the potential when people, if especially if you feel like you're threatened, you've got to get the heck out of there. But I'm saying this: it's the people who are miserable in their own skin that make other people suffer, and there is no reason for it, none. Right? Which brings me to Republicans. And I'm not going to alienate my Republican listeners, but you guys need to call people out when they do stupid things. You can't get into blind leadership. I don't care what the hell party you're from. The more you do that, the more you pay into a world that goes very far against our individual freedoms and very much into a world of intrusiveness, right? Here is the headline: Republicans risk becoming the face of the Delta surge as key GOP governors oppose anti COVID measures. Now, all right. In Texas, Governor Greg Abbott has banned local governments from implementing mask requirements, even as he pleads for emergency medical help in combating a surge in COVID coronavirus cases from the Delta variant. In South Dakota, Governor Kristi Noem welcomed hundreds of thousands of revelers to the Sturgis motorcycle rally that last year bore characteristics of a super spreader event for the virus. And in Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis is waging war on school districts seeking to defy his executive order prohibiting mask mandates for the students while the state sees its rates of hospitalization from COVID surge past the worst levels of 2020. Agreed, this COVID surge, what they say, the Delta variant, and what's happening now is much worse than last year, right? The death, not as much. Destroying people's organs, much, much more. Let me say this: the Lambda variant, which is vaccine resistant so far, is what they say. Not only vaccine resistant, it shuts down your immune system basically. The Lambda variant, which CDC said it will never be the dominant variant in the United States of America. They said this about Delta a few months ago, 2.5 months ago, right? Exactly the same thing, and I mocked them when they said that, and I'm mocking them now. That 1% will move all the way up. Well, that 1% will increase week by week, and as people get the Lambda variant, which is way more deadly. It originated in South Africa. That was a deadly variant you knew in South Africa. It migrated its way through illegal immigration, people believe, into Central America and all South America. Went to Peru, killed lots of people. Brazil killed lots of people. Chile killing lots of people, right? All over. And of course, now, as of yesterday, there was 917 known cases in the U.S. of Lambda, right? Just to say that. These governors are funny. Don't wear the mask. Don't social distance. Don't stay away from one another. Go to the concerts. Go to the events. Gather together in large groups. But oh my God, there's a crisis. We need money from the federal government. Oh my God, there's a crisis. Where our hospitals are overloading. Oh my God, there's a crisis. That's like running around burning down your town and say, but we need help with these fires. But don't put the fires out, right? Don't stop people from setting the fires. More likely, don't stop them from setting the fires. But we need help with these fires. That's the deal, man. These people have taken a political stance against a virus that is non-political, which has got to be the dumbest human thing I've seen. Maybe not the dumbest, but damn stupid. Up there somewhere, I would have to put a chart of dumb together and kind of look at that. But these are the people who are part of the problem, not part of the solution. I was looking at videos of the Sturgis thing, and not because I like it, not because I don't like the smell of exhaust. I don't like loud sounds anymore. I don't like a lot of stuff I don't like. I don't like that kind of crowd. I hate to say, I have friends even who are bikers, but they're different. They're these are like regular old people. These aren't really the ones who are going to be walking around drunk with what's going on, causing trouble for the police and everything else and whatever. There's a time that you grow out of that stuff, and these guys have not. And these are just old whatever. I don't know. I don't have anything nice to say about this. Obviously, it it's a thing. I don't know. I've seen the Americade up in Lake George, 50,000 bikers, right? Much smaller event. They go there with their motorcycles and whatever. It's obnoxious in a way that These motorcyclers have no respect for anybody else on the road. There's days that I'm driving back and forth, and these young guys are on, these cafe racer type of bikes, and then double yellow line or whatever. They don't care. They pass you. They don't care. They almost get hit by a car. They don't care what they're doing. They're not just endangering themselves. They're endangering other people. There's a time and a place to go fast. Go ahead. You want to do? Say, I did it myself. Whatever, man. I have no problem. Cruising down the road, but I don't endanger anybody. Is when I do it. And we've gotten to a world of such selfishness, and also, uh, not just that, but people who are judgmental in a way where they'll mock you for wearing a mask, right? It was the people that got mocked for not, and then they pull out a gun and shoot you. There's a lot of that going on. The ones who are wearing the masks are now being attacked and mocked. There's stores that I go into where I am locally. I'm the only one in the store wearing a mask. And let me tell you, man, if that mask gives me another 20% coverage or 30% coverage, so I don't get the Delta variant or any other crap, I'm happy with that. I run into a store, I run out of a store. I'm not willing to take it off at this point, because I've seen what happens when people do. So that's the deal. Is that you have these political bodies that are against one another. So the three Republican governors, all frequently mentioned as potential presidential candidates, right, are all at the vanguard of GOP resistance to public health mandates aimed at stemming the tide of the Delta variant. Now, these mandates aren't to take your freedom away. It's actually to give you freedom, to keep you alive for you, yourself, and your family, right? So, all right, which has caused a new spike in coronavirus cases as the country attempts to reopen schools, restaurants, and other businesses. The whole plan to reopen as the Delta variant is raging, and then they had events. I mean, up by Ithaca and Watkins Glen, they had the NASCAR thing, 120,000 people showing up, all hanging out together, no masks and whatever. That was a week and a half ago. Oh, now they're all getting sick. Right. Same thing for Cape Cod. You had that huge area, man, or a province town. Boom. You have all these guys out in the sun, ha ha, hanging out together. Yeah, now they're sick. A lot of them are vaccinated. It turns out that some of the vaccines aren't so powerful and aren't so true. Look at the Pfizer that they're putting at 32, 33% protection, and then the Moderna holding at 72 to 95, Johnson 55 to 65, depending on who you ask. But yet they're not perfect. The mask isn't perfect. Nothing's perfect. You know what perfect is? Staying away from people, social distancing, washing your hands, try not to use the sanitizer. Use it when you have to, but if you have the option for hot soap and water, that's the best right there. Right there. So, but these politicians, it's something different. They should be concerned about saving people's lives, not the political statement behind it, you know? So, here we go. They're making a political bet on the lives of the people they serve, right? Said the former Republican National Committee Chairman, Michael Steele, who has been sharply critical of former President Donald Trump and has formed an exploratory committee for a potential 2022 Maryland gubernatorial bid. The party leadership has gone so far out on the limb that they stand with a saw in their hand and they're sawing it off. That's what they're doing, right? Death Santos spokesperson Christina Pushaw defended the governor's action, calling him pro-vaccine but anti-mandate. Protecting individual rights is the cornerstone of conservatism, Pushaw said in a statement. If a business, or this is from Florida, I gotta say, protecting individual rights is the cornerstone of conservatism, Pushaw said. If a business or any level of government is infringing upon individual rights, then it is indeed conservative for a leader to step in and ensure individual rights are protected. You got the right to die. God damn it. And once you're dead, you vote Democrat, right? Isn't that how it works? In recent days, even if you're Republican, how many Republicans died and then voted Democrat after? Lots. In recent days, however, other Republicans, such as Senator Bill Cassidy from Louisiana and pollster Frank Luntz, have urged their party governors to let schools and localities decide for themselves whether to mandate face masks or vaccines. Whenever politicians mess with public health, it usually doesn't work out well for the public health. And ultimately, it doesn't work out well for the politician. All right, so I'm going to end that there because we know these guys. I don't have to tell you about all these other idiots, Cruz, and all these people making their statements because they're not making a statement from your own personal health. They're making statements that are political statements. Remember when Trump was president and COVID came around, he said it was a Democratic hoax. It was a media Democrat hoax. I watched him say it. You can't say that he didn't say it. I watched him say it. There's plenty of video of him saying it. Then he backpedaled later, saying that he took it seriously and whatever, man. He didn't know. He didn't understand it. He didn't understand the virus. They still don't understand the virus to this day. The Democrats, when they won, they thought they were going to go in there and claim the thing was over and that they succeeded against this virus and inoculating people. Who are they listening to? They're listening to Dr. Fauci, who is a politician. Do you think the guy actually knows anything? I haven't heard him say anything yet that would make me believe that he knows anything. So these are the people that you have to rely on. And we've been playing catch up with this virus instead of being ahead of it the entire time. Now, a lot of people are becoming sick, a lot more infections now. This will cause long term infections. The Delta variant is going after people's organs, going after your kidneys and your lungs. Let's say it destroys your kidneys, right, or puts you into renal failure or whatever else it's going to do to your body. The things that they're noticing is what's happening. That's not just getting a virus, being sick and going to isolation for 10 days and you come out and whatever, you're all right. Or getting sick and you go into the hospital, you got to be on some kind of a breathing apparatus or whatever because you're that far gone, you know, or getting sick, going to the hospital and being there for a few days and coming out. Or getting sick, going to the hospital and dying and leaving in a body bag. Any one of those things doesn't take that all that time. When you talk about long term, if people have to go on dialysis when their kidneys have problems, or if they have to go on other types of things, or have those frequent doctor visits, or have to have any kind of operations, that's long term care. We have a shortage of medical people in the U.S., mainly because of COVID last year. A lot of these people took off. A lot of the nurses took off. And then now we have what we have. So we are again are seeing hospitals overrun. We again there's a demand for machines to help people breathe and all that. Again, we have a demand of a lot of cash influx because this mess is happening. This virus is going after the children. It's causing brain swelling, problems with their hearts, all kinds of issues. There is no vaccine for children. So we are in a catch 22 situation when it comes to that. And schools are reopening as we speak. They already started schools in Florida and a lot of locations. For instance, here in New York, in a couple of weeks, schools are going to be back in full flow. Or will they? Or will they? And now, of course, in New York, our Governor Andrew Cuomo, had to resign. Another Democratic New York governor resigning in disgrace because of sex scandal. There you go. There you go. And now, obviously he's got his issues, and people politicize that. You know why? If you overuse a word like racism or sexism or any of that stuff, you run the risk of making that word useless, or definitely an eye roll in people if you say it. So with this Me Too movement, more than half of it, 80% of it, were just people making up stories or people putting stuff out there. There were Hollywood women that felt compelled to tell some kind of story of abuse because they're taught that they're all victims when they're born in the United States of America. If you're female, you're a victim automatically, is what they say, right? This is what they say. Is it true? No. I mean, were things unfair for women for a long time? Yeah. Are they the same way then? No. because things have changed. But now things have changed for the worst. Now in office places, if there's ever going to be another office place again with these viruses, men who run these places are afraid to hire women because it's so easy to say something to somebody and have them misconstrue what you say and twist your words and hold that against you. So easy. There's a lot of young guys I talk to out there, fans of the show. When people contact me, they're afraid to approach the girls that they know to date them and ask them out. They're afraid, especially guys in college. They don't want to ruin their college career by saying, oh, we both got drunk and had sex, but she woke up and decided she didn't want, and then bang, these guys up for rape. Happens all the time, all the time. So things have changed, not for the best. When people think that you know uh, they made a difference when it comes to racism or cop killings or any of that stuff, what difference did they make? Where we were burned down a couple police stations, right? Democrats didn't make a big deal about that. They're making a big deal about that stuff that went on in the Capitol building, right? With the Trump people going running amok, right? Made a big deal to having hearings on that and all kinds of stuff going on with that. But not about burning down police stations or neighborhoods or destroying people's stores that they shop in their everyday life and all of those communities that it happened. That was encouraged. It was politically encouraged, is what happened. And people were used against one another. The people that encouraged it, they didn't have their house burned down. They didn't have their business wasn't burned down. Their little cafe they like to go to, that wasn't burned down. Their police station wasn't burned down. So all these communities that decided to defund the police now have spikes in crime that are incredible. The community people in the community are calling for what? More police. They want more police, not less. And this is the problem, man. You don't defund the police to fix the problem with the police. You add more training. You have to get more whistleblowers in there. So when they know that a police officer has the propensity to commit violence against innocent people, you get rid of them. You don't keep them on the force, right? But whatever. How's this? This guy's becoming my new hero. And I say that mockingly, but I don't know. Maybe it's true. A video clip shows Hunter Biden naked while recounting how he was passed out in a pool when a computer was recording him engaging in crazy sex acts and it was stolen. So, one, he's got some supercomputer that sits there and records him. Crazy. And I don't know what in his mind crazy sex act. Crazy sex acts in my mind is really out there. I mean, beyond Captain Kirk boinking everything in space out there. Out there. Warp drive out there. And he said it was possibly for blackmail purposes, according to a report. But I'm wondering if blackmail wasn't misspelled and he's actually talking about a blackmail. You know what I mean? Everybody's gay sometime. You know what I mean? Hunter, I think, is no stranger to that. I don't know. Just something about him tells me that. The conversation took place while Biden and an unidentified woman lounged around in the nude after having sex in January of 2019. The Daily Mail. I love the Daily Mail. To know anything about America, you got to go overseas and read the media because that's the only time you find the truth, and vice versa. They have videos of me doing this. They have videos of me doing like effing crazy bleep sex bleep. I want to know what those bleeps are, man. You know, my curiosity wants to know what the bleep goes on. Biden said, according to a 3-minute, 40-second video clip posted online. So who recorded it? Who posted it online? Who did that, right? But how long ago did this happen? You said before. Bleep. The woman asked. See, so she's the one recording it, obviously, because she's laying there naked. She's recording this guy to put it out there to make a buck. Talk about women. you know, enticing the guy with some nudity, and then that's exactly the kind of people that I can't stand being around, man. The ones who just right there to your face, right there to your face. They act like they're your friend, and all of a sudden, bang. When did this happen, baby? Last summer, Biden answered. Earlier, Biden said that the theft took place while he was in the bleep pool, face down. I guess he's Aquaman. He was having some pool sex, face down. And the people he was with couldn't call an ambulance, according to the newly surfaced video. He's probably cracked out in Cracktown, cracked down. Ooh, is this the woman? Ew. Look at the tattoos on the back. What's up with people with these writings that they do on themselves? It's like people used to write on themselves with a pen in school, like write stupid things. He's got some weird thing too. Look like Godzilla on his back. She looks all pale. He looks like he just plucked her out of the ocean after being there for 6 months. And you know what? She has got these little, the ankle socks. Being naked wearing ankle socks is the most bleeping unsexy bleeping thing I can even imagine. Even worse is people who wear socks and sandals. Really, really, you're disgusting. So this is one that they said that he may have abandoned at a Delaware repair shop, and another that federal agents reportedly seized from the Massachusetts office of former celebrity psychiatrist Keith Abloh. The Post was not able to independently verify the video clip posted by the Daily Mail. And it looks like him. And his girl. Ugh. Biden said he suspected the crook who stole his computer was one of the three guys that were like a little like his group. There you go. Your buddies, man. The dealer and his two guys, like I took them everywhere. The dealer, he said. So yeah, of course, Hunter, they're not your friends. You've got no friends. When you're a drug addict, you have no friends. I will say that. You have your dealer, you've got the people you do drugs with, and they are not your friends. They're just messed up people, and you're all clinging together like crappy negative particles, just clinging together, man. Throughout the recording, Biden, who has acknowledged repeated struggles with drug and alcohol addictions, sounds agitated, and much of what he said is inaudible. At one point, the woman suggested that if the thief had the videos, they would have been out already. No, 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 because inaudible by running for president, Biden said. No, no, no. My daddy's running for president. Biden's father, Joe Biden, launched his successful 2020 bid for the White House in April of 2019. The woman asked Hunter Biden if the laptop thief was trying to blackmail him. He said, "No, I make like a gazillion dollars," he said, sounding confused. A gazillion dollars, which is nothing. He makes nothing. I believe that he's selling his art for tens of thousands of bucks, and he's a horrible artist only because he's who he is. That's why he's my hero, because he's like the slacker from hell, man. He's he's the guy. And talk about that Generation X slacker from hell. Hold that true. Fly that Generation X flag. God damn it. You're a loser and you're proud of it. I'm not calling Generation X people. I'm a Generation Xer. You know what I mean? I've got the potential to be a loser, but this dude has a gazillion dollars. It doesn't matter, But obviously, he's out of control. And all right, the same guy, like had a baby with a stripper and all that other stuff, and that big paternity suit while he was married, of course. And all. So he's that kind of guy. He's that kind of guy. Right? The ensuing exchange is largely inaudible and includes Biden saying both "no way" and in some way, yeah. that's his. That's his. That's his yes and no. No way. In some way, yeah. Biden also appeared to suggest that he might get percentage of whatever the thief earned by anonymously selling the videos to a celebrity gossip website. So the thief, which isn't really known, but he suspects who, he is thinking he's going to go to some sex site and sell the vids and then give a chunk of the profits back to Biden. So either he knows this because he's organizing this and all this other stuff is just kind of a plant for the media, or he knows this, or he suspects that the guy's just going to give him some extra dough because to add to his gazillion dollars, a gazillion and one, right? The Daily Mail said the clip it posted online is contained on a hard drive copied from the MacBook Pro left at the Delaware repair shop in April of 2019. Last year, the Post was the first to report on the laptop's contents, which include the New York Post, of course, which include emails detailing Biden's former overseas business dealing, lurid personal photos, a 12-minute video that appears to show him smoking crack while engaged in a sex act with an unidentified woman. Biden is pursuing a new career as a self taught artist and plans to ask as much as $500,000 each for his abstract expressionist paintings during an upcoming solo exhibit at Manhattan George Burgess Gallery. You know what the bitch of it is? You could be a brilliant artist and you're not going to be at the George Burgess Gallery, and you're working your crap job for your crap money and having to deal with crap every day, and here's this loser with a gazillion dollars and he's going to make 500 grand, half a million, you know, for his money laundering campaign for his pictures, right? Yeah. But you shouldn't compare yourself to people. So yeah, yeah. Is that why he's my hero? He's not my hero. He's just part of the demon that's out there, you know? Demons. So whatever. I like this though. You know I like this? Because people are fighting back. American Airlines staff duct tape 11-year-old boy at a seat in viral video. So you hear that. You hear that 11-year-old boy and they duct tape him. Oh my God, it's child abuse and oh, like someone just shoved an icicle up your kazoo. Oh, right. But there's a reason for everything, isn't there? So this is the latest incident of airline staff using duct tape to curb an out of control passenger. Yeah, they are getting very duct tapey up there in the skies, man. An 11-year-old child, sweet little poor little boy, little 11-year-old child, flying American Airlines reportedly became so unruly during the flight that he had to be duct taped to his seat. The flight from Maui to Los Angeles was diverted to Honolulu on Tuesday afternoon after the boy got into a physical altercation with his mother and allegedly tried to kick out a window of the airplane. Number one, any boy that gets into a physical altercation with his mother, if he's the one doing it and he's the one hurting the mom, one, she's a terrible mother and she doesn't know what she's doing. He's got a terrible father. He doesn't know what he's doing. And this kid is messed up. He's going to be messed up for life. He's going to be hurting his mom. He's going to be hurting every woman in his life. So if you don't stop that, and we used to be in a self-corrected society. We used to be in a society that if you did something wrong, you were going to taste some pain from somebody. If you were a bunch of stupid boys in your town going out there doing dumb stuff, other older guys will come up to you and smack you in the head, grab you by your hair and toss you around and say, "What are you doing now, you stupid idiot?" And guess what? You didn't do it anymore. It wasn't something you did. You run home, "Oh, this guy hurt me. Oh, we're going to get a lawyer and the police, and oh, we're going to go after him. We're going to the media over this, man." That's what goes on now. That you're not allowed to spank a child. You're not allowed to discipline the child anyway. You're not allowed, whether you're the parent or whether you're somebody else, you're not allowed to do it because this society wants to create generations of people who are overprivileged. Number one, But number two, they don't care about justice. They have no fear of the police. They have no fear of prosecution. Nothing. Nothing. They think they can do whatever they want to do until they get into the thick of it and they realize they can't do that. And I'm just going to say that, right? So, according to witnesses, the trial became disruptive about an hour into the flight. They wrote fight. I love that. And several passengers ultimately helped staff member to duct tape him to the seat. That must have been a real victory feeling for people. Let's duct tape this little bastard to the seat. A video obtained by CBS Los Angeles appears to show the child being restrained. According to the report, no one was injured during the incident. This disruption forced the flight to be diverted to Hawaii's capital, Honolulu. Once landed, the boy was taken into police custody, according to the report. The airline confirmed in an email statement that the incident involved an 11-year-old minor, despite reports he was a teenager, and then that he was a child and he was restrained with cuffs. Flexi cuff. Why don't they just get some flight attendants that are like 300 pounds? Put some like some of them up there. you know, you know what I mean? And they just sit on them during the flight. I mean, that's like, you know what? If you don't want to see, restraints is a weird thing. You know, like bail enforcement agents, bounty hunters in most states are not allowed to use restraints. And if they do, they're breaking the law because it's a basic form of imprisonment. But a fat woman sitting on you or a fat guy sitting on you is a whole different thing, man. Flight 212, that's how my brain works. I'm sorry. Flight 212 from Kaiuho, Hawaii Airport in Maui to LAX diverted. Yeah. We know all that. I'll read that again. Anyway, the rep noted that there was no arrest made and the family involved was provided hotel accommodations last night. This is where they provided a roll of duct tape too. They duct taped the kid to the bed at the hotel. This is the latest incident of airline staffers using duct tape to curb an out of control passenger. Last month, a flight from Philadelphia to Miami on Frontier Airlines went awry when a 22-year-old man, identified as Miami's local 10 as Maxwell Berry of Norwalk, Ohio, became violent and was subsequently duct taped to a chair. It's interesting they don't mention here about that woman last week, a week and a half ago, that was also duct taped because she tried to open the door mid-flight, right? They don't want to mention the woman. They want to mention the dude. They're going to look for any kind of story about a guy, right? So, but this guy Barry allegedly groped two female flight attendants' breasts, cursed at fellow passengers, and attacked a male attendant. You see, self-corrective society. In the real world, another dude would have gotten up and knocked this guy out. You just got knocked the f out at 35,000 feet. How does the pilot handle that? Because they're always so calm and cool. You know why? Because they're up there separated from the rest of the pigs in the back, and they don't have to go back there. They're driving the truck. They're just busy driving the bus. You know, this is Captain Friendly. Short flight. Excuse me, flight 737. This is Captain Friendly. Up here we have an incident going in the back, and please just kind of go about your business and try to ignore the situation. And we any passengers that have any extra duct tape on hand, please give it to the flight attendants. Thank you for flying, douchebag airways. Like boom. We'll be landing shortly because a little bastard tried to kick the window out, and it's going to make your day. It's going to make your goddamn day that you have to land and they cancel a flight, have to go through a lot because the woman can't control her kid. Back in the day, with my mom, if I did anything out of the normal, out of the ordinary, it'd be right there. Five across the eyes, man. She'd smack me. I'd have her handprint on my face, and I'm like, okay, I get it. You don't have to do that again. I understand, But when there isn't any discipline, and all these people say, well, you're not supposed to use physical discipline. Yeah, but guess what? It worked. It works. And now look at people today. Why do you think they burn down police stations? How do you think that happens? Or politicians that allow people, not only allow them, but really get them so so angry and riled up that they go out there and they cause destruction of their hometown for some political statement. Yet the reason why they went out there initially, not the ones who steal, of course, because they have their own reasons. The reason why protesters go out there is to effect a change. No change had happened. Nothing. Nothing. So think about that. So yeah, I don't know. We don't have enough time for another one of these, but I like there's another one. Maskless California man bullies the wrong Korean uncle at the H Mart. It's cool because the guy didn't have a mask on, and everybody there made him kind of leave. They all made him leave, you know. But there's that going on in our society. I mean, you guys out there, you have to make your own decisions on what's going to be best for you and your own health. That's the most important thing. So it really comes down to what side of the river you stand on, you know. But you don't want to die and you don't want 30-40% lung reduction for the rest of your life from this delta. You don't want kidney failure, you don't want liver failure, you don't want heart failure, you don't want brain swelling, you don't want that for your children. And for the older people, when older people get sick, people say, yeah, they're older, they're sick and whatever, man. Something happens to them. But when the children start developing all these things and you have a generation that could have multiple problems because of that, I don't know. And then the vaccine, you don't even know what it would do to kids. They're already saying it's okay to give the vaccine to pregnant women. I don't know how you figure that out, and how it's going to affect the fetus. They have no idea. So there's a lot of dark territory that's unknown and a lot of answers that have to be answered. The one thing that we really know, basically, that if you have the vaccine and you get this variant, that most likely you will not die and have these heavy duty healthcare problems. So let's keep that in mind as we go forward in all this. And you know what, I'm here for you guys no matter how bad things get out there. I actually have terrible visions of what's going to happen, and I fear the worst, and I can't shake it. And it's just is what it is. It's something that chance favors the prepared mind. So go out, buy your toilet paper, go out and be ready, man. Because when I mean, they shut everything down last year for the original COVID. This one is more infectious, more dangerous for a lot of different reasons. And as this one comes through and destroys people's immune system, Mayo Clinic thinks everyone's going to get this, that you're not going to be able to avoid the Delta variant. You're going to get it in some form or another. It's going to lower that immune system. And then you have another one like Lambda, which is at 1% of all infections now in the U.S. And next week, it'll be 4%. The week after, it'll be 10%. The week after, it'll be 15%. And as time goes on, by the time we hit mid-November, I'm figuring it's going to be the dominant variant, maybe even in mid-October, the dominant variant in the U.S., and more deadly. And then you're not going to be able to fight it off because your immune systems will be compromised by this one. Protect yourselves. Don't be foolish. Don't listen to the media. Don't even listen to me. Talk to your healthcare provider and get the real answers on what's going to do for you, because we're all individuals. I got one of the shots, and I get my other one in another week and a half. Of the Moderna. I chose Moderna very specifically because it works against the Delta. So if you have the Moderna and it works against the Delta is not going to compromise your immune system like it would if you weren't vaccinated at all. And then you have another one coming along to complete the 1-2 punch. But I've done the timeline. I know what's going to happen with this thing, and it just is what it is. So protect yourselves, protect your families, be there for your family. Somebody loves you. Does anybody love you? Be there for them. Get vaccinated. Wear the mask. Wash your hands. Do your social distancing. Don't listen to other people that'll tell you that it's this, it's that, whatever. That's good for them. It's not good for you, you know. But also, no one's got the right out there to make somebody else sick, right? You got the right. You have your own personal rights. Yeah, no one has the right to make somebody else sick. I will end the show there on the Red Pill News. I'll see you guys next week on this show on United Public Radio Network, uprntalkradio.com. And adios to you all. Bye.